You can't visit a website without first accessing the domain name server, DNS. That's why sometimes we get so frustrated when we get that DNS error message and we have no idea why there's been a malfunction connecting with the IP address. Well, if you're going to create a legendary brand, you're going to have to overcome the DNS error message that is certain to stand in your way. From historic Grayson Stadium, home of the legendary Savannah Bananas, on this edition of Leaders and Legends.
So we took a trip to Savannah. It was the first time he'd ever been. So we came to Grayson Stadium and it was a gorgeous night. It was 80 degrees or something. It was perfect and there was nobody here. And we both just kind of were sad for an old ballpark like this to sit basically empty on a beautiful summer Saturday night.
Welcome to historic Grayson Stadium, Savannah, Georgia. Dates back to 1926. So many legends of the game have actually set foot on that diamond. Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, Ty Cobb, Hank Aaron played here when he was with the Single A Jacksonville Braves, Mickey Mantle. I could go on and on of luminaries who passed through Savannah at one time or another. Jackie Robinson, but for the most part, baseball, minor league baseball, was a losing proposition here in Savannah until 2016. And then something magical happened.
And you don't even need to like baseball, you can have a blast here.
And I don't think Savannah expected anything like this.
It's not even a baseball game, it's a circus. It's a circus.
I don't even know how they did it. I seriously have no idea how you packed Grayson Stadium because I have no idea how they really did it.
It starts with ideas, but then it's the belief of who we are and what we stand for, and that's fans first and caring for people more than anyone else.
There's no question you've created a modern day legend. What is the one thing you know about creating a legend that you wish other people would know?
Oh, creating a legend. Well, it comes down to dreaming big and executing on those beliefs. You know, if you want to be a legend, you have to think differently, dramatically different than anyone else, and what makes you different. And it has to be have a purpose that's bigger than yourself. And when you have a purpose that's bigger than yourself, none of us, I don't know what's in our bank account. I'm not driven by the money. I'm driven by why we do what we do. And that opportunity to see a fan and greet them and make them feel special. Then, every game is someone's first game, and you see all of a sudden you have millions of people you're taking care of. So, you want to create a legend, be different, stand out, and have a purpose bigger than yourself.
I can't paint a more bleak picture of what this office looked like. There weren't even offices.
And people were so skeptical. Nobody knew who we were. Nobody knew what we were doing here. Nobody knew what this thing was about. We were just the next people in line to fail. And that was a challenge. I mean, that was kind of a prideful thing for us. We're like, we can do this, but people were very skeptical of us. So that was, one of the biggest challenges for us in those first, from day one up until we announced the name.
Long before they started selling out stadiums across America, turning baseball and all of marketing upside down, DNS kicked into overdrive February 25th, 2016, when they unveiled the name of the new franchise, an iconic identity that's much more than a name and a logo. It's like a loud trumpet lustily announcing, "We're different." And that's when the inevitable backlash began.
We can't be anything boring. We can't be anything, that's ever been done before. Savannah Bananas is the only thing that fits this bill. And when we announced that on February 25th, it was like, holy crap, the world just freaked out.
You had the cheers, you had some jeers. Bananas, the Savannah Bananas. And then you started watching. That's the great thing. Social media now. We had a chance to see kind of the spectacle that would unfold there. And you had, the naysayers. Savannah, you're going to be a laughing stock. You're going to embarrass our city. What do you think of Savannah Bananas?
We were getting crucified. Like the owner should be thrown out of town. You guys are an embarrassment of the city. Whoever came up with the name should be fired. I mean, we were crucified.
Savannah Bananas going through the paces, getting ready for the 2025 World Tour. They will visit 18 Major League Baseball stadiums, 3 football stadiums. This would have been impossible had Jesse and his wife Emily Cole not figured out a way to overcome the inevitable DNS. Yes, DNS was standing in their way right from the beginning. Doubters, naysayers, saboteurs. The naysayers are the articulate and sophisticated art critics of the business world. Yes, just like an art critic who could point out every flaw in anything from Picasso, Rembrandt, or Monet. They too feel with a fair amount of snobbery, they will point to everything that is wrong. Baseball traditionalists, for example, will fall into the naysaying category for this particular brand. So think about it. It doesn't matter whether it's Van Gogh to Van Halen. Think of that Rolling Stone writer who's going to pick apart things with the latest Led Zeppelin album, or how Johnny Cash or Bob Dylan should reinvent their career. The naysayers, the negative Nellies, also need to be overcome in your quest to create your own legend.
What do we got going on in here? A little coffee action, Tuck? That a boy. Let's be great today, Kurt. That a baby. Yeah, Patrick, making them sales, baby.
Doubters, naysayers, and lurking in the shadows, the saboteurs in the business world. What they will do is pour a tall glass of bitterness, jealousy, resentment, who knows what, to try and extinguish your entrepreneurial fire. Probably the legend that said it best, Taylor Swift, all the way from Reading, Pennsylvania. Haters, they're going to hate, hate, hate.
There's something to be said about the community coming together for one thing, and the community be able to go to one place. This is that place. There were so many excuses about why baseball wouldn't work in Savannah. It's too hot. There's too many little league games going on. Parents aren't going to come out here all night. They have blown all that away. Just goodbye.
Doubters, naysayers, and saboteurs. Doesn't matter if you study any legend. Ones I've personally been associated with, Canada's most notorious city, Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. Alberta's celebration destination, Charles Glen Toyota. I know my friend Tim McClure experienced this when he came up with Don't Mess with Texas. Here in Savannah, Georgia, it's the same thing with Jesse Cole and the Savannah Bananas. And so I think the key to keep in mind is that scene from one of the Rocky movies, the one where Sylvester Stallone is telling his son, hey, the world ain't full of sunshine and unicorns and rainbows and lollipops. It's a mean and nasty place. Remember that scene? And it's not about how hard you hit, because nothing's going to hit as hard as life. And the key is to keep hitting back and never give in. And so that's how winning is done, and that's how legends are created. So when you stop and think about this, what can you do? R&R. Recognize DNS for what it is, and then absolutely refuse to let them beat you. Many years ago, I did a keynote presentation with Gene Simmons from KISS, and I never forgot what Gene said about how never in history have they created a statue to honor a critic. Or, as the great Teddy Roosevelt once said, walk softly and carry a big banana stick.
Walk by a fan now! That is why you bring your club to a ball game!
We were just some kids. We were running a small town team.
and now we're putting on the greatest show in sports on the biggest stage. This will be something that you will never, ever forget. It's showtime.
Thanks as always for watching. Leaders and Legends, where you never know who you're going to meet or what you'll discover.